Hey, this is Hinkle from South Mississippi Gamers. We're here at McNarb's today. It's a Sunday. We decided to come up here and have a good little friendly game to test out Escalation on one table, and we're going to have it where it's a little path where we can go over and try out Zone Mortalis on the other table. So it's going to be a long battle report today. We're going to be doing one in between each turn because we ain't been producing the battle report lately. We've been real busy lately with life, just like everybody else. But we're here today with Pat, we got Mike, we got Justin, and y'all say what y'all bringing today.
I brought Chaos Marines, trying out the Lord of Skulls and Bellicor with them, trying out some shenanigans with Puppet Master on Super Heavies. Should be good. Lots of fun.
I brought a whole lot of Tau and maybe a couple of White Scars and a Quilio macro cannon. It's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Justin?
I ended up bringing Grey Knights. I have Drago Wings, so I got a big group of Paladins, a couple Dreadnoughts, a couple Dread Knights, so should be pretty fun, try out.
All right, I brought the Imperial Fist today. I brought two of the Redeemers and the Crusader that Justin's been working on that y'all see here in this video. Sorry they're not painted, but they're a work in progress right now. 4 drop pods, some Terminators to run around with, Lysander as always. A couple of Thunderfire cannons, some Centurions. Trying out Sky Shield landing pad for the first time. We'll see how that goes. And I brought a Storm Sword. Shadow Sword. Yeah, there we go. I don't even know. So I can have my little D weapon up there. And we'll see how it goes with videos in between here. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, everybody. We're just going to do it. This is before the battle begins. Deployment's done. Everybody kind of get a look at what's going on, what we got here. Sorry, not everything's painted, but we all want to test out some of the new models, so we'll see how it is. Well, we're headed to the Zone Mortalis table now. All right. This is the Zone Mortalis. Sorry, only one tile's painted, but like I said, it's a work in progress. We got, oh goodness, look at all them tiles. So obviously, since we're the attackers, this is a Tau ship, and yeah, there's Drago Wing with Lysander and some Terminators. Now, how we're doing this is above we have a piece of terrain that comes down to this, teleports us down to this objective marker to get onto the ship or underground base.
I would say we call it a spaceship.
There we go. Teleports up to a Tau ship. So this is where we're at. We're about to get started here, and we'll come back as soon as turn 1's done.
All right, the match we're playing today is Trampled Underfoot. What that is there are 5 objectives out on the board. If your Super Heavy runs over the objective, it's crushed and they get 1 point for that. If you control the objective at the end of the game with a scoring unit, you get 2 points for that. In addition to that, we have Slay the Warlord, First Blood, Line Breaker, and a rule called Through Attrition Victory, which is for every hull point, for every 3 hull points you strip off of a Super Heavy, you get 1 point. And we each have a Super Heavy, so it's even. All right. Also, we have Impending Doom, which I think Pat said didn't matter because of how the setup was, and Night Fighting and Reserves are in play.
All right. And one of the things that we're also doing on this match, we have this centerpiece here that's kind of like the teleporter to go to the Zone Mortalis part of this game. We're actually we're invading. The Grey Knights and the Imperial Fists are invading a Tau ship to get rid of the Xeno scum. And what are the rules on Zone Mortalis?
I think that was just fight.
Pretty much fight until
to the end.
Fight to the end. Okay.
They're trying to clear it out.
That's good. That's simple. We'll go over that once we get over there to it. All right. So we'll come back here as soon as we're through with our turn 1. Everybody, we're here. We're finished with our first turn here. I'm going to say it was pretty successful. It could have been a little better. We'll start off over here. My baby here. He fired at the Tau structure once we stripped all of its void shields off, and it scattered enough to kill 4 of my Terminators, but also made the building go kaboom. So I'm happy with that right there. That get rid of one of the D weapons. Right over here, there were a bunch of shield drones, I'm guessing, or marker drones. And my Thunderfire cannons took out about half of them, I think. More than one. There's more than one. Two of them, okay. The Space Marines there, they fired their Meltas at the Super Heavy there. Your little, whatever he's called. What is he called? Lord of Skulls. Stripped some hull points off of that, I think, didn't I? A hull point. Hey, every little bit counts. The Centurions up here, they fired a bunch of the Void Shields. Got them done. I think we had 9 Void Shields we had to get through. Combination of my firepower and Justice firepower, we ended up destroying one of the generators and got the Void Shields down 9. Moved up here and there, but other than that, we got the big structure down. We destroyed one of the generators. I'm going to say that was a pretty successful round there. Justin, what'd you do?
All right, we'll start on this end for me. First off, this guy, he helped knock down the shields that were being put up by the generators, so that was real big for me. My Land Raider moved up, and we got out and prepared to charge and hammer down this building, but it wasn't there, so we ran back and hid. This guy, he fired at, what were those things called, Pat?
Mauler
All right, there were 3 Mauler Fiends. He fired at a Mauler Fiend and ended up knocking it down to just 1 hull point. And then if you come across this other Dreadnought, he fired through, because you can see through the drop pods, and ended up finishing it off, which worked out pretty good. Over here, my quad gun got kind of lucky. There was a Mauler Fiend behind this building, but I could see half of it. And I shot it with a quad gun and got a pin and ended up rolling a 6. So it blew up, so that was good for us. But that's pretty much it on this table for Grey Knights.
All right, we'll go to Zone Mortalis now.
Over here, the Grey Knight Paladin Squad, Drago Wing, whatever you want to call it. We moved up from here, came over, and my Side Cannon Squad within that group shot over here and killed the Spearhead Sentry Gun. But because of how they set it up, each of these is all an individual unit. So I kind of I had to focus, my whole 10-man squad focused on one thing and killed it effectively. But that was it for this squad.
All right, and Lysander squad here. We don't have a whole lot to shoot at right now, so we moved up and then we ran, and that's where we're at now. Just moving up the quarter. They didn't really do anything this round, but we'll take this Tau ship eventually before the end of the game.
Turn 1, or Xeno turn 1, however you want to look at it. Not much happened. Regenerated some Void Shields over there. Generated 4 out of 9. The Lord of Skulls killed pretty much everything that came down in these 2 drop pods. Didn't regain a hull point from Will Not Die. Dreadnought shot at his Dreadnought that was there. Didn't do anything. That Dreadnought shot at his Dreadnought way over there. Way in the back. Did nothing. This Dreadnought, I can't even remember what it shot at, but it didn't do anything. The Mauler Fiend assaulted the Terminator that had the chutzpah enough to assault my Void Shields. He killed him pretty easily. And that was all I did.
Over here, the marker drones snap-fired because they'd gone to ground on the non-existent Dreadnought anymore. And these 2 Skyrays unloaded everything they had and took it out. And then this guy right here, he tried to do something to the Dreadnought, but apparently his missiles malfunctioned and nothing happened. And that was it for the Tau side over here, except for spreading out.
All right, so we're moving to
And next we'll see Zone Mortalis.
All right, so here we have Zone Mortalis, and as you see, the Fire Warriors moved a little bit, and the Fire Wasps moved enough to maybe block some movement. But aside from that, a whole lot of gunfire came down this passageway, and the Grey Knights were not intimidated whatsoever. Pretty uneventful.
Very nice, that's very nice.
They're very tough. That little glowy glaive thing he's got there deflected all the pulse carbine shots. All right, and that's it.
We're here at round 2, and we have another drop pod come in right here. Come over here to try to desperately sacrifice themselves to kill this tainted Chaos Demon Prince. We'll get back to that here in a minute, what went on him, but he was flying at the time. He's now on the ground. He's got a hurt leg. Justin helped out with that. What'd you do?
All right, for my start, I shook the shaken and stirred with my fortitude on my Land Raider, so that's why he was able to move. Once we got the drop pod in, my dreadnought here, my venerable dreadnought, fired and ended up grounding the demon prince. And after that, Anthony began to try to pummel it with shots. So how did you do against him?
All right, well, what I ended up doing over here, once he was shot, I shot at him with a Melta and a couple of these, and I don't think I wanted them all. You saved everything on that. Desperate being as I was, I decided to fire Big D at him, and ended up doing 3 wounds. It was good, not as good as I wanted. We ended up taking down the void shield again and destroyed another generator. So he's only got 1 generator left. We pretty much fired all the Centurions at the void shields again. Ended up firing the Thunderfire cannons back at your Tau guys back there in the back. Didn't really do a whole lot with that. I failed my assault with the Terminators over there. And other than that, oh, we destroyed a Maulerfiend over there, but he's not there anymore. And that's all I had right there with that. Justin, is that it?
For me, like Anthony said, my Dreadnought ran up, assaulted, and popped the generator. This Dreadnought was locked in close combat with, who's this, Mike? He's his chapter master for the White Scars. Well, we both made our saves, and Mike used hit and run and rolled 3 6s. So he got way away from the combat. Over on the Zone Mortalis board, it's not much to see. The Paladins moved up in the hall, shot and killed 5 Tau. Mike did really good on his saves due to cover saves. So that's where we ended up over there.
All right.
All right, anti-Imperial turn 2. The biggest, we'll save the most interesting thing for last. The Lord of Skulls killed 1 Centurion, did a wound to both Thunderfires. I did 3 wounds to the Dreadnought from the cumulative fire of las cannons from all the Dreadnoughts. These guys came in from reserve, back here.
Who are these guys?
Just some random Space Marines hiding in the back. They're not even here. Don't worry about them. They're not even there, man. But the best thing that happened is 2 Riptides came in from reserve, and what those Riptides do to it?
They decided to go on a drinking rampage, and they didn't do a darn thing except a glancing hit.
And then Bellicor.
Yeah, totally. Well, this guy over here Nova'd himself. That's why he's looking in the wrong direction.
He put his finger in something that was hot. He wasn't supposed to do that.
2 Riptides and a Demon Prince did 6 hull points.
Yeah, Bellicor got mad because he got shot with a D weapon, ran up, did 5 hull points to it.
And I denied the wood.
Yeah, otherwise all the Centurions would be dead from Puppet Master, which would have been entertaining.
And then these Skyrays decided that they'd go on a drinking biz too, and didn't do anything except move to get Jink. In fact, this one even got immobilized. Don't ask me how. Over here, the Chapter Master, after evading the Dreadnought, went through these units and wiped out everyone up there on the quad guns, since apparently it was so devastating to our forces. And I believe that's it, except for Zone Mortalis.
All right, over here on Zone Mortalis, you see that the Fire Warriors are kind of moving out to get better sight. And if you notice, there's a few Paladins missing. It seems once you get better aim and more shots, it works. That and these Fire Wasps here, they were pretty devastating. 25 wounds. Yeah, even Paladin's going to go down. That's it for over here. Hopefully they live long enough.
This is turn 3 or 4.
That's 3.
Turn 3 for us. Land Raider backed up, fired shots at the shields. Couldn't really do much. This Dreadnought in the corner took out the void shields. This Dreadnought fired in trying to take out the generator, but didn't do a good job. My Dreadnought here and this guy are just like slapping each other, not doing anything. This Dreadnought went in and assaulted the crap out of the generator, but apparently these generators are awesome because 2 6s and a 5 only got, knocked down his armor now by 2. But whoop-de-doo, it should have been dead. That's retarded. But anyways, over on the Zone Mortalis board, we'll just say right here, It went absolutely horrible for the Grey Knights. I shot at those stupid little fire wasps. Oh my god, those things are so annoying. Basically, they're just blocking up so I can't charge down the hall. So the towels are just sitting back there and shooting me the whole time. It's awful.
All right, so that's what you did?
Unfortunately.
All right, mine here. I tried moving the Terminators over here to move into Assault. I rolled real low on my move through difficult terrain, so yeah. So I move my Land Raider here to try to get in position to shoot at some things over here. That didn't work out too well. Then I had the Flamer and the Multi-Melter here fire at the Chapter Master. He saved all of his saves there. Not very good. Now I had the Centurions here fire on the big scary thing. And I did knock some hull points out on it. I think you have, what, 5 hull points left? I knocked out 2? Okay. I guess that's gonna, okay, I don't, yeah. Shot the Thunderfire cannons back here at the Tau. I think I killed 2 things and wounded his HQ a couple times. Let's see what else. Space Marines here, they just shot at Void Shield, didn't do anything much. Over here at this drop pod, they fired back here at some of the Chaos Marines, ended up killing 2 of them. Now for the interesting part. If you notice, there's a blank area right here. What ended up happening was these guys came in and they shot at the Riptide. And I don't think I got a wound. I did get 1 wound? Okay, got 1 wound. And my plan was to assault after that. Hit him with a melter bomb after hitting him with a melter gun. Never got to that. Because over here, notice all the little nice flamey here. This Demon Prince decided he was going to shove his fist up a barrel. Well, it didn't work out too well. So I fired it, and it ended up scattering back on me and hitting him. So it killed him and blew me up, and then blew up the other Riptide as well. So I don't know if that's a good trade-off. Probably was worth point-wise. Probably no. Okay, but it sure was cool. And that's Zone Mortalis on the Imperial Fist side. We're hanging out back here with the Grey Knights, all shaking our heads saying, why did we come on this ship? We really don't know why. We're kind of stuck. We're on the teleporter right now, but there's this big hawking thing on the teleporter down to the ground, and he won't let us out. So we'll see as now it's Chaos and Pals round 3.
So this was turn 3. The Space Marine bikes from the Tau Force showed up, came onto the board. Yeah, that's right. And they turbo boosted out, ignoring the Marines, just so that way they might get some action. The Sky Ray, yet again, do what Tau do and missed. Same with this Sky Ray. Now, if you notice here, you notice the HQs aren't standing there. They're hiding because they see the assault Terminators coming for them. They're running away.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared, but they're scared. That Sky Ray shot up forward as fast as he could to relieve the Lord of Skulls from his duty there in keeping Lysander down there on that ship. That's right, that's right. You love me. Chapter Master, again, Infidel. Shot that quad gun over there at that far Dreadnought. Did 1 whole point of damage. I guess the magic only works for the Imperium. Aside from that, that's it for the Tau side of the Force until you get to Zone Mortalis. Chaos.
The Dreadnought's not engaged with this Dreadnought shot there. Whiffed terribly, rolled all 1s to wound. It was horrible. I think did I do a wound with a bolter, guys? That's what it was, wasn't it? Oh, I did a wound to the Dreadnought. That's the moral story. And the Lord of Skulls killed all the Centurions over there. And that's all that happened over here.
All right, so over here on the Tau side of Zone Mortalis, you'll notice that the Fire Warrior squad here has spread out, standing all the way back here to make best benefit of the supporting fire rule in case of bad stuff. That way all these guys can fire Overwatch, hopefully kill somebody. The Fire Wasps over here doing what they do best and flaming the heck out of these passageways, getting shred on their flamers, totally annihilating the Librarian that was sitting here and dealing a wound to a Paladin. Slowly whittling away at the Grey Knight forces. Hopefully we can hold them off long enough to end this game. That's it for Zone Mortalis. Next turn.
We're round 4 now for the Imperium side, and we'll start over here. Round 4, we ended up having the last drop pod come in. We had our guys come out here. And, no, that was the round before. These guys were already here. That's right. Came back, shot little individual shots at him, and got into assault with the bikes to tie him up. We locked in combat. This drop pod came in. These guys got out here, along with that other melta gun guy right there, and we ended up firing all of our shots at the generator to, with a combination of one of the land raiders to get rid of the void shields. My Terminators, they're back there. They went in for assault to hit the dreadnought and failed. So they're sitting there again doing nothing. Just as last time, this land, the Redeemer, fired at the chapter master. He waved it off like it was nothing. I forgot to fire my Thunderfire cannon, but that's okay, because it's too late now. And we had some cool things happen on Zone Mortalis, so we'll go over there to that one after Justice threw his review here.
All right, for me on this turn, backed my Land Raider up even more and then covered close to the objective. This quad gun just completely missed shooting at the Sky Ray or whatever that was, the Devilfish Sky Ray that was up here. This guy did the same, really, really bad rolls on my part. Come in over here, this Dread Knight assaulted the Sky Ray and popped it. This Dread Knight was locked in combat with the other Dreadnought, and finally, after like 2 or 3 rounds of this, the Dread Knight finally finished him off. And that's pretty much it for Grey Knights on that turn, except for what we had happen over in Zone Mortalis.
All right, in Zone Mortalis, the Grey Knights finally got tired of standing around getting popped by these daggum, what are they called? Fire wasps. And they moved over, they shot one and killed it. Drago's not attached to the squad. He shot another one and killed it, and then assaulted it too. We didn't kill it when he shot it, he wounded it, and then assaulted it and got rid of it. All right, then Anthony's squad came around, and they had a heavy flamer that hit. They put a wound on this front fire wasp, and a wound on the back fire wasp, and then went over here and killed, I think, what, 7 fire warriors? 9 fire warriors? Okay, yeah, that was a good hit. All right, well, after that, he rolled his, morale check, and he rolled low on his morale, so his first fire warrior squad fled. And in Zone Mortalis, when you flee and you run into another squad, that squad then takes another morale check. Well, that squad failed their morale check, so they fled and ran into the next squad of fire warriors, and that squad actually passed. So if you look, the guys with the red arm pads right here, they're fleeing, and you can't see them over here, but the other squad is also fleeing. These guys in the middle made their check. So it's kind of interesting to see how those rules work, and pretty cool. We're going to see what we can do next round, and that's it.
Turn 4, what happened is the Lord of Skulls trundled over here, killed a Dread Knight, and 1 Marine. Those Marine there. Everything of mine over here, including these 10 Marines, both Dreadnoughts, they all shot at these Terminators that were back here. There was 5 of them. There's only 1. Yeah, he's very sad and alone. These 8 dudes here shot through the windows, killed a Marine over there. And that was all I did. Oh, and the Void Shield regenerated 1 shield. Hinkle hates that Void Shield so much.
I do, very much.
I love it.
Mike?
Over here, we got the Sky Ray coming around. It finished off the Marines over here. The Riptides shot clear across the board. It took out the last Dreadnought over there. Well, no, it totally whiffed. The orbital bombardment that I finally remembered took it out.
Way over there.
Way over there. And then we got combat over here. Slowly winning out, but it's going to take too long. And yet again, we fail our hit and run. Apparently they just like to have company. And I think everything else is on Zone Mortalis.
Let's head over there.
Over here on Zone Mortalis, the Fire Warriors managed to regroup, and they're trying to get a formation back together, but that heavy flamer is going to wreak havoc on them still. They put their main squad up in front and scatter all the way through to make best benefit of that supporting fire rule. And everyone fired at Drago out there all by him lonesome, and took out 2 wounds. The last fire wasp you see there in the middle blasted everything in front of it and killed one last paladin. It's gonna die in the fiery blaze pretty soon. Hopefully I can hold out long enough for this last turn.
All right, we're finishing up on round 5 here, and we dominated this round. Over here, we, I think, tied, and then he ran off because he was scared of the Imperial Fist. Notice how he's over here now?
Seems to be a theme with this guy.
Does. And that's that there. Over there in the far corner, you will see a Terminator over there in the corner with lightning claws, maybe. That man right there ran up fearlessly, charging into a squad of Chaos Marines, took their fire, took their wounds, and killed them all. And whatever's left ran off the board.
This was, of course, shortly after they died both of them.
Doesn't matter, I won. And the thud gun didn't run off the board, so Thunderfire Cannon was pretty useless there. The quad gun didn't do anything for me. The melta guns actually done pretty good against them. I ended up getting a 6 and ended up knocking 2 whole points out of them. And that's all I did, Justin.
This quad gun stepped up, took down the 1 shield point he had, so that was cool. Over here, the Land Raider parked on top of the objective because, well, just trying to do something. The little 5-man Grey Knight squad got out, stepped it up, charged. Who's this guy? The White Scar Chapter Master. And the White Scar Chapter Master challenged him, and he beat my poor little Justicar up. And then he ran. I don't know what it is. They just keep running. So he hit and ran and left again. So over in Zone Mortalis, the Heavy Flamer did some decent damage against the Tau forces in the tunnel. Drago ran up and finished off like a 3 or 4-man squad. So we're doing better, but there's no way we're going to clear them all out, so that's going to be a draw for the game.
We'll get a final shot over there at the end of Chaos and Tau's final turn, so y'all can see how it's going.
I mean, what I've learned so far, though, is Zone Mortalis equals Flamers.
Oh, yeah.
So I took the wrong weapons to play in that area, so next time it'd be a little bit different.
But we'll do a game review on everything here when we're done as well. Yep. All right, y'all. Well, we finished up Escalation in Zone Mortalis today over here at McNarb's. And all I can say is we got our butts kicked by the Tau and the Chaos. But I can tell you this, don't diss this Escalation thing till you try it out, because every single one of us had a blast playing this today. You're definitely going to play different strategies, and as long as everyone's prepared and ready for it, we had a D weapon up against a D weapon. We brought shield generators, we brought sky shield landing pads, and I thought it was a blast. What the rest of y'all think?
Oh, definitely.
It's pretty good. One of the things that I think is a big point for all of us is when you have the D weapons and the crazy extras, those points, they go away so quickly. When you say you're playing 6,000 on each team, it's really not that much. I mean, Mike, how much did that thing cost?
Oh, the Equilium Macro Cannon actually cost 535 points by itself.
Yeah, that was gone turn 1, right off the bat. And it's really fun. I like how quick things go, and you gotta be really careful of the big heavies out there.
And you get to play your big weapons.
Yeah. How about you, Pat?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like the fact that even though that the Bane Blade was super heavy, monsters, creatures, they came up and killed it. Well, granted, it killed itself with the last few hull points, but for the most part, monsters, creatures, they can take down a super heavy. D weapons aren't as broken as people think they are. I think they're perfectly balanced. I mean, they didn't seem too overpowered. I mean, what did anyone else think?
It wasn't a game changer to me. As long as you're prepared for it. It's just like when Flyers got introduced. Everyone said, oh, that's the end of 40k. Oh, it's going to suck. Well, guess what? We started making lists to go against them, or we just didn't. It's going to be the same thing with this. And I'm telling you, I mean, your big D weapon, it killed a lot of stuff, but
That's the fun part.
that was the fun part. But it's not like it went in and destroyed my entire army.
Well, to be fair, it killed most of Justin's first.
Yeah.
One of the things people just have to remember is it's a game. You're going to have fun. If you don't have fun, because you're losing, then it's not for you.
So I guess in closing up on this, before we talk about Zone Mortalis, the biggest thing we did this test today for was to kind of show some of y'all how the battle for it was. We didn't do this on a stand-up 3,000 point list because we really just wanted to have fun today because we haven't had a chance. We've all been working crazy hours lately. So we all brought 3,000 points apiece. Just want to see what it was like. And I think the way we all acted today, I think we all had a blast. So will we do this again in the future? Yep. Now, for all y'all in the local area, we haven't made a decision yet if we're going to allow this in our tournaments. We're going to talk to all y'all in the local area first to see how y'all like it. Right now, the 4 of us, we've test played it. How would y'all feel about having this in tournaments?
I think it works pretty good. I mean, the only concern I would have is if some players didn't invest in the super heavies because they feel a little left out. But I mean, I'm sure we allow proxies. So if you want to put a shoebox and write Titan on it, I don't care. But it's definitely fun. At least try it out. It's really cool when you can take a D weapon and pretty much say, all right, I want that spot clear. And them explodes pretty fun too. So I like it. I think it should be added into the tournaments and everybody get a chance to try it out.
Mike?
Like you said, it's fun, it's interesting, it's definitely a different play style. You really got to think of some new strategies to really handle it. But 40K is 40K.
Patrick?
I think for the most part, it's perfectly fine for tournaments, especially considering most of the super heavies aren't armor 14. That's just Bane Blades. So most armies nowadays that just bring mass strength 7 firepower, bring a super heavy, you just auto lose against it. Like, you just bring that super heavy, it just dies turn 1 from 50 some odd strength 7 shots. So really, just bringing one is auto lose. It's just for kicks and giggles.
So plus you're investing a lot of points.
Yeah.
That's a lot of your army list. If you're playing a 2,000 or 3,000 point list, that's a whole lot of points in one unit.
I mean, mine, the only one I can take, it's 950 points. That's over half my army.
Well, at least on my vote on your side, it wasn't even your big D weapon that was the player of the game. It was your Void Shield generator.
Yes.
And I don't hear anyone complaining yet against the Stronghold stuff, but y'all take this. I think it's more broken than the D weapon.
340 points to get the Void Shield formation. You just nullify opponent shootings until they get close.
We were shooting at it more when we were his own creatures half the game.
Well, yeah, that was the first step. Every shooting phase for us was, all right, who's shooting the Void Shields down?
So just so y'all know, I mean, they put both of these books out at the same time for a reason. The fortifications are made to go up against these D weapons, because I was firing D weapons at a shield, and it was just taking the shield down. It wasn't hurting none of his stuff. So not a bad investment to me. So any of y'all have anything else left to say about Escalation before we talk about Zone Mortalis?
Good here.
Good.
Okay. This is where I'm going to cut it. And 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, now we're here for our second part where we're going to talk about Zone Mortalis. We tried this out today. This is probably the most thorough we've really got into it. We've test played it once on Tuesday, but we've really brought some heavy lists today. And we'll start with Justin here. This is actually your first time to play it.
Yeah, I think it's a little different from what y'all would normally do, since we allowed it to be a offshoot of this main battle. So the points balance was off. I had an entire Drago wing with a librarian down there. Playing it for the first time, it was a little weird because I was trying to get used to how it was supposed to work. But after playing it one time, I now got a pretty clear picture of what I would do and what I would bring. And I mean, it's really kind of a cool setup to do. I had a blast with it. I mean, me and Mike were pretty much just duking it out the whole time down there. But it was a blast.
Mike?
Zone Mortalis, just like Escalation, it has new rules, but it's still 40K. It was really neat seeing the fallback moves. You can that's how it would be in real life. You got people in front of you running back the other way. What do? Yeah, you run away too. So yeah, definitely deadly. Bring templates. Yes. Grey Knights know it best.
Flame templates will dominate in that. Patrick, what do you think?
Well, I didn't really play in the Zone Mortalis today, but I played it a couple weeks ago, and it's loads of fun. I mean, I love skirmish games. It's just incredibly fun. Tight corridors, vicious firefights, and deep striking flamers with clumped up Necrons, I learned, is very entertaining. Very entertaining.
Well, all right. Well, as y'all know, this is December time. We're playing here at McNarbs. Starting in January, we're going to be starting kind of like an old school Escalation league, kind of like a journeyman league for War Machine, but it's for new players coming in. We're going to have a packet for rules coming out. You'll be able to catch them on our forums and on our website at South Mississippi Gamers. We're going to be having stuff like little Zone Mortalis games and little bitty small skirmishes, kill teams, things like that. The first month is going to be like 500 points. And each month, the point costs will go up. The tournament we run that month will be based off the points of the league. So new players that want to come out and play and try this out, you know, get in touch with Hinkle, Pat, Mike, JKPZ28, Arvart85. You know, we're on the forums. We'll get the packet to you if you can't find it on there, and we'll be up here showing y'all, teaching y'all how to play. And they give good discounts up here at McNarbs. There's also Jack's over in Biloxi as well. They're going to be helping sponsor this event as well. So if you can't make it here, you can make it to the other one. And we hope to see more of y'all up here. And don't forget, we're up here playing on Tuesday nights as well at McNarbs. And if y'all want to jump in and get some games on the weekends, just post them on the forums, let us know. We'll see if we can do a pickup game. So I don't think we have anything else. Anything else y'all want to add to this? Or?
For those of you who don't know, that's McNarbs at 2307 Denny Avenue. Just pop it up in the Google. It's past Google, Mississippi.
It's right next to the Pizza Hut.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all don't forget to catch us on our podcast as well. And I guess that's everything else we got. And we'll see y'all for the next battle report.